extra time.
Obviously, without confirming who's in and who's out, but can you tell us what energy David Warner's brought back to the squad, and also how Will Pucovski's been since he's come back in? He's been so close so many times.
Yeah, Davey's been awesome. Brings really high intensity. Fills guys with confidence around him. He's a player that you love having on your side. He's always got plenty to say. Really energetic, very professional. And as I said, I've always loved playing with him, and I know he's a player in this team that guys love to have in our side. So he's made an instant impact with that energy and intensity that he brings. And Will's been fantastic as well. He's been out of the bubble for a couple of weeks, so he's excited. He's fresh. He's been batting really well on the nets and looks ready to go if he was called upon.
Mate, just one on Davey. Obviously, India's attack's been pretty bang on the whole series and been quite good at building up pressure and keeping the strike rate low. Just how big is David's return in terms of, I guess, getting the pressure back onto the Indians and putting them on the back foot?
Hopefully, if he gets in and gets away, I think that's what he does. He puts pressure back on oppositions better than most, particularly opening batsmen. So, regardless of who we're playing against, we're a better team by a fair margin when David Warner's in it. Not only through the runs and that he scores, I also touched on the energy and what he brings to our group. But he also protects our middle order a bit, I suppose. So if we have Marnus and Steve Smith and other guys coming in when the bowlers are a bit tired, then obviously it's a huge advantage for them as well. So David's got a huge role for us and has played it beautifully throughout his whole career.
Just assuming or Will Pucovski plays, or if he does play, given his history, is there any anxiety watching him out there facing a lot of short balls, if that's what he is receiving?
No, not for me. I mean, there'll be anxiety, I'm sure, for everyone watching someone playing their first Test match. There always is. But yeah, like Will's been hit in the head a few times, but he plays the short ball really well. And as long as he's comfortable, then we're comfortable. And so far, he's indicating that he is good to go, and it's not a concern to him.
Cole, can I just ask a quick one about the SCG Test too to Tim? There's a lot said about India like playing here, Tim, but their record's not that great. I mean, what do you guys get out of playing at the SCG in a Test match? Or I guess it's a home test for almost half your side, or even more than half your side.
Yeah, and we've got a great record here, and as you said, a lot of our guys, this is their home ground, so they certainly love playing here. They love being at home. They enjoy the conditions. I think all of our bowlers are obviously New South Welshmen, so they know the wicket very well. They exploit the conditions very well, and they bowl really well as a group here. So we expect that won't change, and the same with our batting. Our two best batsmen, this is their home ground. This is where they do their best work. They're excited and can't wait to get out there. And just the SCG Test in general is always right up there as one of the favourite tests of the summer.
There was a spell during the MCG Test where I think Mitch Starc bowled a lot of short balls at Ravindra Jadeja and Indian lower order. I mean, is that the kind of, I suppose, examination that you need to be prepared for any player, whoever comes in, to be able to stand up to, that sort of thing that you used Starkey with? Yeah,
I think so. I think, obviously playing Test cricket is difficult, and playing a short ball at that pace is uncomfortable. So I think if you're someone that's perceived to have a weakness in that area, or even if you're not, it's part of the game. It's how teams sort of, I suppose, test your mettle or test what you're made of a little bit until you show otherwise. I think the short balls is a great option. I think it's going to continue to happen. It's a tactic that certainly we've used. So we expect to get plenty back as well.
Just wondering about, obviously you had that banter with Pant last time the Indians were out here. Wadey's banter with him last Test. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like it. I actually said in a radio interview this morning that it's been unusually tame the start of this series, and I think it's because both teams are just happy to be back playing Test cricket. There's been such a big break. So there's a lot of respect between the two teams, there's no doubt about that, but it's very competitive sides. But yeah, I think it's boiling away. There's some some stuff starting to happen. There's a bit of chat starting to happen. So I think this test is going to be fascinating, not just from a cricket point of view, but as I say, I think there's a bit of tension starting to boil under the surface with a lot of unnamed sources coming out from their camp saying where they want to play the fourth test and where they don't want to go. And I think it's starting to grind a few people. So we'll see how it goes.
I know we've touched on the batting a bit, but just in terms of, have you guys spoken about how, I guess, what needs to change from Melbourne? Is it, picking up the run rate? Is it way you handle spinners, different strategies? I don't know, what have you spoken about there?
No, we've just spoken about mindset. We think we've actually got some decent plans. It's just a matter of going out and having the courage to execute them. So if you're a guy who wants to take them on and hit over the top, or if you're a guy who wants to sweep and reverse sweep the spinners when they're bowling, then we've just been encouraging guys to do that, to have the courage to take the game on and play the way you want to play. I think at times we've just let them dictate to us a little bit, let them build pressure, and then with pressure you get wickets at times. So it's about being really clear in your plans, and now it's about having the courage to go out and execute it and do it in your way.
Tim, the Indian seam attack for this test does not have a lot of experience with Mohammad Siraj and the third seamer coming in. Do you think the key is to put pressure on them and stretch Bumrah and Ashwin into bowling more and more? And do you think that could play to your advantage?
Oh, yeah, ideally. Obviously, we'd want them bowling a lot of overs. It means we're scoring a lot of runs. But, what we've seen, again, even with the Indian batters, is that they've got some real depth around their squad now. The guys like Gill that come in are very, very good players, very dangerous players, and the same with their attack. We've seen them do well. The guys that have come in, we've played against them in Australia A games, and we know the skills that they've all got. So we certainly can't take any of them lightly, but obviously a huge key is to try and get a lot of overs into Bumrah and Ashwin, and if we can do that, then obviously we're scoring more runs, and we're making the younger guys bowl a bit more as well. So that's a key regardless of who we're playing against.
I know you've spoken openly about this in the past, but you got the unfortunate stat or honour in some respects of being the only captain to lose to India on home soil. The series being 1-1, how much does that irk you and I suppose feed this team heading into the Sydney Test?
Not at all, really. I mean, I've spoken about that. Absolutely, it's disappointing that we lost that last series, regardless of the team we had in. But again, we're not looking any further than this test. This test is the most important test we've played in a long time, and that's the way we're treating it. Obviously, the series is up for grabs still, and we want to win it. But whether that my record as captain and where I've lost and where I've won is irrelevant. Our main focus is on this test match, righting a few wrongs from the first two tests. We won convincingly in Adelaide, but played, apart from an hour of magical bowling from our quicks, we were pretty ordinary in that test as well. So, we know we need to improve. We know where we need to improve, and we're excited to do it. So, that's all we're focusing on.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.